Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Chuck Hattemer on the line. He's co-founder and CMO over at OneRent. Chuck, welcome to the show.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, so excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about how AI is changing real estate. But before we get into that, I do want to go a little bit further into what you're doing over at OneRent. Tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
Yeah, so OneRent manages and monetizes real estate in the cloud. And our focus is on residential rental properties. We manage about over $1 billion of assets across the West Coast of the United States in 7 major markets.
And so at the end of this, I'm going to give you an opportunity to leave, obviously, the listeners, whether you're going to leave a website or otherwise so that listeners can connect. I do want to make sure that the right people do connect with OneRent. What are typically the right type of clients and or fits to work with OneRent?
So we work with property owners, real estate investors, and renters, and then we also work within the prop tech community and the technology community. So we're always looking for more people to get in touch with in those communities, and they can always reach out to me. Best is on Twitter. Just DM me on Twitter. My Twitter is C_Hattemer.
Fantastic. So let's just dive right into today's topic. So how AI is changing real estate. Where do you want to start with this one?
Yeah, so I think AI. I think it's an interesting topic. Right now, there's a lot of movement to put more and more of the real estate transaction online. And if you think back to the last time you rented, bought, or sold a home, you probably combed through listings, talked to agents, visited open houses, walked around the neighborhood. Finding a home is a lot of work, and much of it is done offline. Now, historically, this offline data has just been stuck offline. But now, given the developments in artificial intelligence, it's really transforming the way we find a home. And so I think there's going to be a lot more movement of artificial intelligence and assisting the real estate transaction online. Generating or because of all that data that is being brought online.
Can you give me an example of kind of some things that are already happening or that you see happening in the future?
Yeah. So I think what's already happening with AI in real estate is a couple things. At the very kind of basic fundamental usage of AI is automating the home valuations. And that's really how the AI started, was as a number cruncher for home values. So you have things like the Zillow's estimate, and then real estate professionals and companies using these price estimate tools to differentiate themselves in the market. The next, I think, big phase that's going to happen is creating more market liquidity with AI. So AI can really unlock billions of dollars in the real estate market by using data to shorten the transaction time. So, for example, in home sales, AI is applied in the mortgage process already, where for loan qualifications and that there's already some usage of AI in that part of the process, but there's still a lot more offline work that can be automated, leveraging artificial intelligence. So this work, like for example, virtually touring a property. And using AI to kind of help someone get a feel for how they're living in that home before they go and buy that property or rent that home, and leveraging all the offline data about what's inside that home, like the appliances, the features, and having that available online. That's going to really change the game, where people are going to buy and rent properties like they shop for things on Amazon.
Man, that is exciting to me. Like, that is so exciting, just like to think about it being that simple. And as it goes, as I know we get further and further along with this, I mean, I think what is, for the consumer, I mean, it's a win. For the, you know, the whoever's selling the home or property, whatever it happens to be, I mean, it just seems like it's creating a lot of win-win scenarios across the board.
Absolutely. I mean, you can reduce costs, like you can also use AI to reduce like property maintenance costs by proactively addressing issues before they become more expensive. So for example, in our business, we've inspected thousands of homes through the course of doing property management, and we've performed 3D virtual scan of every home managed, and we collect all that data. And then this data set combined with, you know, our own data on property tours and renter feedback, that helps train the algorithm that we use to identify what are the profitable improvements that someone can make to a rental property. So really, it not only saves time in the transaction process, it really reduces costs and helps property owners, you know, de-risk their investments in the long term.
So you've been in this space for quite some time, and you do have a unique vantage point, just because you do a lot of volume, and like you just mentioned. What excites you right now? So what's one of those like things, it could be a technology or otherwise, that just gets you all excited about where we're headed in real estate?
Yeah, I think the opportunity to identify high yield investment properties in the real estate market, you know, it's always something that is particularly interesting, especially, you know, in times of downturn, when you need to, you know, jump on these kind of opportunities to invest in properties. So the ability to kind of combine all the public data out there, an online, you know, platform, and all this offline operational data, like all the foot traffic at homes, you know, the materials used to build homes. These make for a powerful algorithmic approach to real estate investing. And I believe artificial intelligence can help identify down to the property level the best investment properties in any given market. And so I imagine a future where, you know, those kinds of decisions can be accessed and made by anyone who has the ambition to be a real estate investor and to own real estate. And technology is only going to make it easier and simpler to invest in real estate, just like you invest in a stock, and be totally hands-off managing that asset.
Man, that is exciting. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and I'm like, geez, even just the data now, all that data you're collecting, all those things, just becomes a whole nother thing, and just opportunity. So that's really exciting. So Chuck, that being said, if somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more about OneRent or to connect with you and your team, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, so go check out our site to learn how we're using AI in the rental market. It's called onerent.co. You can also, again, reach out on Twitter at my Twitter, C_Hattemer, Hattemer. But yeah, shoot me a DM, check out our site, and we'd love to talk to other people that are working on interesting things in technology and real estate.
Fantastic. Well, Chuck, really great to have you back on the show today. Been a pleasure having you on. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review in the Apple iTunes store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there. But also leave us a review on the Apple iTunes store, and leave us some comments in the YouTube video. I mean, love to know what kind of things and projects that you're working on. And Chuck, thanks again for coming on the show.
Great. Thanks so much for having me, Adam.